The scary part is they were making infectious chimeric MERS viruses, a source said. The viruses have a fatality rate of over 30%, which is at least an order of magnitude more deadly than SARS-CoV-2. If one of their receptor replacements made MERS spread similarly while maintaining its lethality, the pandemic would be nearly apocalyptic. That's scary. They say this is a COVID-19 researcher from the World Health Organization, wishing to remain anonymous, said it was alarming the grant proposal included plans to enhance MERS. I believe they were doing that. Now, isn't that scary? Here's where things are getting more interesting. The Economic Times, COVID origins probe. The Lancet does U-turn over lab leak theory. And we have this from the South China Morning Post. Jury's still out on lab leak COVID-19 origins, researchers say in the Lancet letter. Signatories call for further investigation of controversial theory and say there's not enough evidence yet to support the natural origins hypothesis. The host pathway from bats to humans has not been identified. A group of scientists have urged more research on the controversial theory that COVID leaked from a lab, issuing the call in a letter in the medical journal The Lancet on Friday. Now that is doubling down, reversing course. My friends, is this partisan? It shouldn't be. I certainly hope not. But it seems to be. From Fox News, Jon Stewart surprised at meltdown over his belief in coronavirus lab leak theory. Stewart on lab theory once declared debunked by fact checkers. I'm just not sure how that got politicized. I agree. The former Daily Show host shocked media observers in June when he launched into a passionate bit on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert about the coincidence that the Wuhan coronavirus emerged in a city with a super lab that experimented on bat coronaviruses, saying the disease is the same name as the lab. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter about his new Apple TV project, Stewart cited the Colbert interview while discussing the power of Twitter. It's democratized connection and also democratized destruction. Not to quote MC Hammer, but you can't take the measure without considering the measurer. It's kind of the point I was making on Colbert that everybody got mad about, which was these are just tools. We're the ones that F them up. You're referencing your June appearance on The Late Show, where you went all in on the theory that the coronavirus originated from a lab in China. I couldn't tell if Colbert was entertained by your bit or maybe a little nervous, reporter Lacey Rose said. I don't think he was nervous, Stewart said. It's not like he doesn't know what I'm going to say. Listen, how it got to be that if it was a scientific accident, it's conservative. And if it came from a wet market, it's liberal. I don't know. I'm just not sure how that got politicized. But it was an elegant way to get to a bit that I've done for years, which is our good intentioned brilliance will more likely be our demise. The bit is about the last words that man ever utters, which are, hey, it worked. I guess I was a little surprised at the pushback. I'm not. John, big fan. You've been out of the game for a minute. We're in a tribal world. Critical inquiry is frowned upon if it defies the logic of your cult. Sorry. I can sit next to Alex Jones and criticize him, and sit next to Steve Bannon and criticize him, and sit next to any one of these conservatives and say, I disagree and I object and I think you're wrong. And the conversations persist and people are willing to watch, and people call me wrong all the time and they still watch. I do think it's funny how many Trump supporters, like staunch Trump zealots will call me, a shill or a grifter or a leftist, and they'll still watch. That says something. It really does. I mentioned this before. It says they're willing to watch what people they disagree with have to say. But duh, we all knew that. We know that the Trump supporters are going to mainstream media and fact-checking what's being lied about. So that means they're going to watch my content and just tell me I'm wrong. Do people on the left do this? They watch my show and pull clips out of context and then just try and make me look stupid or make you look stupid or make Crowder or anybody, Jimmy Dore or Dave Rubin, Glenn Greenwald, etc. It's very, very different. So, John, when you go out on national TV and espouse an opinion based on facts, if you're challenging the official narrative, you will be called right-wing. That's why people got mad. No one who's independent, who's liberal, like truly liberal or conservative, got mad that Jon Stewart was saying it looks like it came from a lab. In fact, when it comes to vaccinations, while there certainly are a lot of anti-vaxxers who are angry about it, most people on the right just simply say, if you want to get vaccinated, go do it. Go talk to your doctor and see what's right for you, right? And they'll make their arguments for themselves. It's much more individualist, so we can have those conversations. They go on to say, While Stewart's progressive comedy made him popular with Democrats and mainstream media during his 16-year run of The Daily Show, some journalists and viewers scolded him for supporting the theory on Colbert's show. Disgraced former CBS News anchor Dan Rather called Stewart's rhetoric dangerous and short-sighted. Washington Post's Paul Waldman fumed that celebrities shouldn't be considered reliable sources of information. And Forbes rounded up viewers uncomfortable with Stewart's words. The reemergence of the lab leak theory as credible or likely after being declared implausible and debunked by fact checkers and media reports in 2020 has led to yet another reckoning for the press on groupthink and bias issues. Some reporters even acknowledged that support for lab leak theory from Republicans like Donald Trump, Mike Pompeo, and Tom Cotton played into why it was initially dismissed in the media. Let me just say, because Republicans were right, the Democrats took the opposite approach and are yelling at Jon Stewart for daring to agree with the far right. And that's why people don't want to come on the show with Alex Jones or Steve Bannon. We say, hey, we're going to have some of those prominent figures come on the show and talk about stuff. I reach out to a bunch of leftists and they say no. You know why? Because Alex Jones would come out and say something like, the elites are screwing over the working class. And they would look into the eyes of the leftist populist and they would say, Alex, you are correct. And you can't have that. You are not allowed to agree if you're in the cult. And see, that proves a point. On the quote unquote right, the not cult, I'll call it, you have people of all different political persuasions disagreeing and having discussions, and there's no fear of cancellation. If I go on a leftist show, no one's going to get mad at me. I've been on Jimmy Dore's show. Nobody got mad at me. In fact, a lot of people were like, oh, that was cool. I've been on a bunch of shows with a bunch of prominent left-wing hosts, but if someone on the left goes on a right-wing show, they'll get canceled. They'll get insulted. They'll get scolded for legitimizing this stuff because politics only flows in one direction. Jon Stewart, he didn't realize what had happened because he'd been gone too long. They say Colbert, a staunch supporter of Democrats, appeared uncomfortable with Stewart's take. At one point, quipping he sounded like a lackey for Senator Ron Johnson. However, Stewart said in the interview that Colbert knew what he was going to say ahead of time. Sure, probably did. And that doesn't mean he liked it because it goes against Democrat narrative. And Colbert is worried about getting hurt in the ratings. You want to know what's really funny about the Jon Stewart story? You can see where we've come, how far we've come. Back during the Jon Stewart era on Comedy Central, Jon Stewart was not the most prominent figure in the country, not by a long shot. He was a cable TV news comedian. And when people turned on The Late Show, they heard about movies and music and pop culture. They decided to bring Colbert to The Late Show from Comedy Central, dropping his persona and just being Colbert, an insufferable liberal elite. Basically what he is. He was funny before when he was poking fun at the system. Now he's just part of it. That means the mainstream is now political. But do these people understand anything outside of celebrity gossip? No. So when they come out and Jon Stewart, who was not part of this world at the time, is brought out in front of the mainstream establishment, they don't get him. They don't like him. He's not a part of their club. He's saying things in defiance to their opinions. And of course, they'll have to criticize him. But Jon Stewart may be right. Because we have a defector coming out and saying he'd warned about this, and we have a new report about U.S. and Wuhan scientists actually wanting to release coronavirus particles into cave bats and then do gain-of-function research. So you draw your own conclusions on this one, and I'll leave it there. Next segment will be tonight at 8 p.m. over at youtube.com/TimCastIRL. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all then.
Welcome to This Past Weekend. We have a guest today, and this episode is brought to you by Gray Block Pizza. And Gray Block Pizza is a beautiful spot. And if you've ever enjoyed something like pizza, then you know what I'm talking about. They have specialty pies, the Zingaro, the Frenchie, the Hunter, the deep cheese. Where you at, baby? I'm in that deep cheese. And that is Gray Block Pizza. They also have Bronx-born pizza, and that's up in Bend, Oregon. Gray Block in Los Angeles, Bronx-born in Bend. Those are our hitters. Today's episode is brought to you by Unruly Bastards. And that, I'm not talking about your stepdads. I'm talking about this beautiful little card game. Unruly Bastards is a hilarious party game. If you like partying with friends, and sometimes you want to have more fun than that, then you can have this game. It's super fun. It's simple to play. You grab a card. It has a theme on it. The theme on my card says, mean things to say to a baby. And I would think, I hope you don't learn all the vowels. So that might be something mean to say to a baby. You know, then you're just going to have a little consonant child. But you have to come up with the best answers to win and become the Unruly Bastards. It's live on Kickstarter right now. This is your chance to get it and the first to own it. It's only $20. And you're supporting this company to create more games. So go to unrulybastards.com and support their Kickstarter, and you'll get this badass game. $20. Unruly, UNRULY, bastards.com. Have you ever had a mole or a cyst or a group of moles, like a whole hill full of moles on your back or near your butt? Well, I know that feeling, even though I've never had it, because I've carried a wallet in the back of my pants, and it feels just like a big chunk of extra just milling around my butt cheek. And now those days are over, because Ridge Wallet has that new front pocket carry, and it's that beautiful front hitter. And if you got credit cards and this and that, you know, some cash, you know, maybe a driver's license, something like that, you can put it all into that Ridge wallet and keep it up front. And they have laser beams, cannot get through the Ridge wallet. So if you're in a place and people have lasers, you're fine. The Ridge wallet is that front pocket carry. Why carry your stuff in the back like a freaking mole person? And just for our listeners, we have a 10% off discount. Go to ridgewallet.com/Theo and use promo code Theo. Go to ridgewallet.com/Theo and use promo code Theo. They also have knives. What's up, guys? I'll be in Charlotte next weekend at the Comedy Zone, and he will be in Seattle. And his name, he is today's guest. He was in the, he played division, some subdivision football, not in a subdivision, but like in a lower division. And he also was a wrestler. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today, Mr. Brendan Schaub. Damn, dude, Brendan Schaub, ladies and gentlemen. Big Browndon, people call him. Dude, I heard a black woman call you Browndon the other day.
Browndon, yeah, I get that a lot.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I don't correct them either. I'm like, word up. Yeah. Where to your mother? Where to your mother?
Do you have a lot of black fans? You seem like a kind of guy.
I do.
Yeah, I could see that. And the black women, I feel like.
Yes, the big girls. Shout out to all the big girls.
I could see that, boy. Them Hardy, boy.
The Hardy Boys, bro.
Yeah, the Hardy Boys.
The Hardy
dude.
Boys, Doug.
Oh, this one, I met a black woman one time, had the hardest hips I'd ever seen in my life, bro.
Damn.
Just real. Almost like
What do you mean hard? You mean like she's swolled up like quads? Like she got them 1-2 thick thighs that you get at KFC? The white meat?
No, this was more like, it almost seemed like more of an infected kind of gristle almost.
Veiny gristle?
I didn't see many veins in it, bro. It almost seemed like wood. Like, say if you like said, it's been a good year, hope it's a great spring, and then you could knock on her leg, like knock on wood.
Now, did she have a huge cock as well?
She didn't, bro.
Most girls don't have those big quads, dude.
Nah, man, we don't have all that in here, bro.
I don't know. I don't know what you're into, bro.
Dude, I'm into fucking being a straight up champion here.
You're a straight up champ. I'm not mad at your outfit today.
You're not?
Nah, G-Star?
Oh yeah, this is G-Star.
Word.
G-Star Raw too. This is organic.
Raw.
Yeah.
They really emphasize the raw, don't they?
Oh, definitely, dude.
Fucking chill, G-Star.
Bro, you a little bit, and no joke, you look decent, bro, but you also look like you look like the assistant coach on the women's golf team at Rutgers. That's what I feel like.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. You look like the creepy high school women's volleyball coach who fucks all the players and then gets busted.
Oh, damn,
And then gets
bro.
busted for it.
Come on.
You look like a high school lacrosse coach who fucks the players.
What are the players, boys or girls? And it
Girls
doesn't matter
and
because
boys.
it's all illegal.
It's all legal.
But I just want to know for my own peace of mind. Bro, you look
No,
like...
you look good, man.
Nah, dude, don't tell me that after that.
Why not, bro?
Because that second
some of those lacrosse coaches are like dime pieces, and they're coaching the women's team, and then they just start fucking the hot one.
Dude. Man, you look like the guy that gets beat at the first round of every video game, bro. You look like
That is frustrating. That is frustrating. You look like the kid who goes to the arcade but's too broke, so he watches everybody else play.
Oh, that was
Like, oh, bro, that move was sick. Yeah, back up, bro.
That was
yeah,
me.
thank you. Back the fuck up, bro. My parents love me. You have no quarters. Get the fuck back.
That was me, bro. And when that dude was done, I would go up real quick and try to touch the controls to see if it would still work a little.
Hopefully they still had some lives left and shit.
And then just push the little slots in for the quarters.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what else. You look like the dude who goes to Dave and Buster's at however the fuck old you are and still does that. Trying to jump and crawl up to the fucking skee ball, pull the balls out and still fucking play. Keep track yourself.
Bro, you look like Dave Buster. That's who you fucking look like. You look like a dude that makes shady carnival games, man.
That place is shady as fuck.
Oh, dude, one of my friends went missing in there. This guy,
Makes
Jeremy,
sense.
that I used to go to high school
Yeah,
with.
it makes sense.
No
I
one
don't trust it.
ever seen him.
No, I don't trust it, bro.
Ever seen that guy.
And if you look at arcades now, the graphics are weak compared to like PS4s and shit.
Yeah.
Shit is weak.
Oh, and
son.
it's so dark, so you can't see like how dirty it is. If you go into like those, Game Works or Dave and Buster's, first of all, they're selling alcohol and video games right next to each other.
And kids.
Yeah.
It's like a kid area too, bro. And then you can collect all the tokens and like buy some weird shit you don't want.
And the tokens are garbage, man.
Yeah, get that shit on my face.
I just discovered some underworld. There are professional Dave and Buster's guys that go there. They win tickets and then they buy the shit and sell it for above what they got. There's a whole underworld.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like a dark web of losers.
Basically, if you go to Dave and Buster's without a military discount, you've already lost. That's rule number one when you're buying tokens.
Oh, wow.
So you got to enlist, man. Did you
Gotta
ever?
enlist, bro.
It's a little strange that Nick knows all that
Yeah,
stuff.
that's a little too much info. You seem. Are you the guy who does that?
I was investigating, see if it side hustle maybe. But
It wouldn't
it's-
surprise me if you did that. I don't care. I don't judge.
Well, Nick was a premature baby too, and I've told you that.
Yeah, I know.
But
Makes sense.
and yeah, well, it happens. Look, man, we all have. Some of us are born too early, and some of us are born too late.
Some of us hang at Dave and Buster's every day of the week and fucking hustle kids out of their tokens.
Brandon Schaub is here. Dude, I was thinking about this the other day. Because you played football and then you played fighting.
Yeah, you don't play fight, but yeah, carry on.
Well, dude, I watched some of your videos. It's you basically beating fat guys up. I don't know if you've seen some of the fights. Okay.
Oh, okay.
One of them's at a mall. It's not even in the ring. I'm like, who is that guy? One of them, you're punching a black guy who's on the ground, which is basically like
Illegal?
illegal now.
Depends what state you're in.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That was in, I think, Washington. It's cool there.
Do you ever see a fight and you think like, and you feel the desire in you to be back out there?
No, never.
Not
I'm
at all.
Too busy now, man. Yeah.
But outside of too busy, like outside of like the business side of it, like is it in your,
In my nature?
yeah, like in
No.
your,
I mean, competition is, but that was as a kid growing up with a brother or playing football or whatever I'm doing, whether it's a podcast and making sure I'm still in the top in the rankings. So it's always, the competition's always there. I don't want to hit people though.
Right.
I have no desire. My life is way better now.
Is
I
it?
never look back. You never look back. Ever.
what's the toughest hit that you've taken physically since you got out of the UFC?
I mean, physically, I don't get hit anymore. I don't spar or anything like
Right,
that.
but you fall down or slip on something, slip on a marble, slip on a.
Oh, I was my kid got like this little scooter, like a thing, and I was running down like backwards trying to be all cool while he's chasing me, and I ate shit, and all the parents saw it.
Really?
I popped up. I was embarrassed as fuck.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was so embarrassed.
Do you like if your kid? Do you have to take your kid on play dates and stuff like that, or no?
I mean, he went to a birthday party the other week, but not really. When they're 2.5, they kind of stay to themselves. You know
Oh,
what I'm
really?
saying?
Your kid's only 2.5 years old?
2.5.
Do you think your kid seems like a strong baby or not?
Yeah, he's a little freak.
Is
He's a
he?
Brock Lesnar of 2.5-year-olds.
Oh,
Everyone
wow.
thinks he's 4. He's
Yeah?
a freak.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
But every parent says that, like, using the 99 percentile. Nah, bitch, for reals, my kid's a giant.
Yeah, every parent says that, like, oh, he's in, we got the test back. And
He's so smart. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, no, he's regular. He's regular.
Yeah.
He's so smart. He's so fast. Well, he's 2. Not